It's still the stakeholders consultative workshop on the livestock reforms in Nigeria. This is another stage in the reforms going on in that sector. Remember, when this administration came on board, it promised that it's going to reform this sector to make the best out of it. And the president actually started that process. Set up a presidential committee on the livestock reforms generally. And after that committee, chaired by the former governor of Kano State, Umar Ganduje, concluded its assignment, another committee, presidential committee on the implementation of the livestock reforms also came on. Now submitted a report on how to go about the implementation in that sector, and part of the reforms was the setting up, the establishment of a livestock development ministry, which the president has given approval to immediately. Of course, you know, now we have a minister designate for that ministry. Now let's hear from the co-chairman of the Presidential Committee on the implementation of livestock reforms in Nigeria, Professor Tahiru Jega. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so very much for having me.
This is another stage in this process of reforming the sector, making the best out of it. So what does this mean in these reforms?
Thank you so very much. Today's consultative workshop with stakeholders in the livestock value chain is a significant milestone in the effort of Mr. President to significantly transform the livestock sector across the value chain in order to add value to economic development, social development, and peace and stability in our country. Our committee on livestock reforms implementation presented an inception report to Mr. President, and we thought that the next stage is to gather all the significant stakeholders so that we can discuss the significant challenges that are being faced in the sector, as well as explore all the opportunities that are there. It is very clear to us that the opportunities will benefit everybody from every section of this country. So really we need to understand what needs to be done, and also to ensure that there is an enabling environment for sustainable reforms in the sector. Mr. President has given a very significant commitments to ensuring that this sector is developed appropriately. So his meeting with a range of stakeholders in the livestock value chain today is a significant milestone, and it will open other opportunities for looking at what needs to be done appropriately to transform this sector and ensure that there is food security in our country, there is peace and stability in mitigating the farmer-herder conflicts, and in ensuring that the products from the livestock sector will also find markets so that Nigeria can become competitive in exports related to this sector. So this is a very, very important meeting. All the who and the who in the livestock value chain are gathered here today.
So much, Prof. But before I let you go, just a quick one. At the time you submitted a report, you talked about the benefits coming from this sector. Can you just let Nigeria know specifically, in clear terms, what this will contribute to the national economy?
Well, frankly, from our own estimation, the sector, if appropriately developed, can contribute anywhere between 10 and 12% to the country's GDP within a decade. Right now, it is contributing a very, very small percentage, maybe 1.5 to 3% to the agricultural contribution to the GDP. So you can see the vast potential in this area. Whether in West Africa or in Africa, that do not have the kind of potential we have in this sector are making tremendous gains in terms of economic development and social development associated with this sector. So we can be very, very competitive if we appropriately pay attention to developing this sector. And Mr. President has given us confidence that he means business and that this sector must be transformed appropriately.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Right, the co-chair of the Presidential Committee on Implementation of Livestock Reforms in Nigeria, Professor Tahiru Jega. And now, this is just a new phase to show the commitment of the administration towards these reforms. And again, remember, this is just one part of the benefit. The other benefit is to check insecurity issues, particularly between or amongst farmers and herders, where they occur in some parts of the country. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is expected to declare this workshop open, and any moment from now we expect him to come in. And that's it for now. We'll give you some developments subsequently.
All right, Ms. Bao, many thanks for that. Certainly we will be joining you as that event commences. Thank you.